new film Wolves in theaters Friday, March 3rd. That's tomorrow. About a young man who's a talented basketball player on his Manhattan high school basketball team. Seems everything's going for him, but his dreams of playing college ball jeopardized by a hard-drinking, compulsive gambling dad played by Michael Shannon, who we're thrilled to have back here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Michael?
Good, Rich. How are you?
I'm fine. How does one prepare to play a hard-drinking, compulsive gambling dad? How does one prepare for that, Michael?
Oh, geez, Louise. I don't know. I mean, I didn't go out and gamble, I'll tell you that much. That stuff scares me. You can get into some real trouble, as you see my fellow does in the movie. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of I met with Bart, the director, and he had some experience with folks who had been mixed up and stuff like that, and he relayed some stories to me about it. And then I don't know. I just took my cues from the script, really. Yeah.
Are you a hoops fan of any shape or form, Michael?
Well, I love basketball. I grew up in Lexington, Kentucky, which is the home of UK. So we have our very famous basketball program down there, and the character of my son in the movie really reminds me of my little brother, who was obsessed with basketball. Unfortunately, he didn't have success with it, but he shot around all the time. We had a hoop in our backyard, and he'd be out there whenever he could be. So, yeah, I've always enjoyed basketball. I also lived in Chicago for a long time, so I saw those great Bulls years, the dynasties, with Michael Jordan and all that.
Michael Shannon, who's in the film Wolves in theaters near you tomorrow, joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, let's get to the Oscars, Michael. By the way, Great in Nocturnal Animals, just phenomenal.
Oh, thanks, Rich.
You are most welcome. Walk me through your front row seat to seeing what in the world happened at the end of the Oscars, Michael.
Oh, at the end. Yeah, it was very painful. It's hard to see people that are very happy and kind of have opened their hearts and are, bestowing thanks upon people, to see them all of a sudden have to pull up, and I can't imagine what a painful experience that must have been for them. And then for the Moonlight crew to have to come up and, they're obviously very excited, but also kind of worried about the La La Land crew, and not wanting to, I don't know, make it any more painful than it probably already was. I have to say personally that I was very happy that Moonlight did win. I think it's an extraordinary movie, and I can't imagine it happening again anytime soon.
Well, the two people who were in charge of the envelopes have been banned for life from working the event. They're done with it. And when did you realize something was wrong? When did you see people milling about?
I wasn't really looking at the people. I was listening to the producer who was making his speech, and like I said, just really had his heart out on his sleeve there, and was so excited. And then I could just see I could see it in his face. I could see it in his eyes. And then it was so hard to watch him because people didn't really believe him the first time he said it, and to see him having to repeat it over and over again and say this is not a joke, that was just really, felt bad for him.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone thought it was a Kimmel gag. I know I did.
Yeah. But, it's pretty amazing that the Oscars have been around as long as they have, and that's never happened before, to be honest. So they got it out of their system, hopefully.
Did you want to recheck the Best Supporting Actor envelope? Did you want to?
No, I was not surprised by any of the acting awards for the evening. They all seemed to be pretty much what was expected and deserved. Mahershala is incredible in Moonlight, so I was very happy for him.
Yeah, we had him on in August. He was going through his career as a Santa Clara basketball player. He was a point guard that said that he really didn't. He realized soon enough that he didn't have what it takes to get to the next level, so he decided to act.
Yeah, because acting's so easy. Yeah. No, but yeah, I can't imagine. I never even attempted to play basketball. I mean, like I said, growing up in Kentucky, it was very competitive. I don't think I would have had the slightest chance of getting on even the community center basketball team, let alone any of the school basketball teams.
Yeah, I mean, and you're from Lexington, though, Michael. I guess
Yeah.
you found your calling in life when it all came down to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it was. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is pretty trippy that I wound up doing this. I never would have guessed when I was a little boy in Lexington that I would have ever wound up at the Oscars. It's very unusual.
Well, I'd love to get a good story from you. I'm with Michael Shannon here on the Rich Eisen Show. Early on in your career, you were in Groundhog Day, where
Yes.
you played the newlywed groom of the bride and groom that Bill Murray kept on coming up to throughout all of the replayings of the days, where one day he told you about how your life was basically over being married, another time he'd be hugging you. What was it like being part of that movie, Michael?
Oh, it was like a dream. You know, I was very young then. It was really my first movie, and I was already very much a fan of Bill Murray and Harold Ramis, probably mostly because of the Ghostbuster movies at the time. And they shot the movie in Woodstock, Illinois, and they shot it. It was weird. It was like I think it was during the summer we were shooting it. It was not wintertime, and they took over this entire town and covered it all with fake snow and made it look like it was the dead of winter, and everybody was walking around in coats, even though it was like 60 degrees outside. So it was very surreal. But Harold Ramis just couldn't have been nicer. He's such a sweet man, and you know, all the scenes in the diner and the restaurant. Like I didn't say a word. I just had to be at my table with my fiance anytime he was in the restaurant. So I got to watch a lot, and I got to kind of take notes and learn about how the whole thing worked. Because you know, when you first start doing movies or camera work, it's not very natural. It's a very a strange thing to do, and it takes some getting used to. So I was glad I got the opportunity to watch people that had a lot of experience. You know.
So did you have breakfast 15 times over?
Yeah, you know, they never really forced you to eat, but they would put it in front of you, and you would have to, if you did take a bite, you would have to take a bite at the same time if you were in the shot. You never even really knew if you were in the shot, though.
Right.
So it's yeah, it was a blast. So you know, considering the fact that I only had, I think, 2 lines in the movie, I spent quite a lot of time there. So I felt very lucky.
Michael Shannon joining me here on the Rich Eisen Show, and I was the honorary captain for the University of Michigan football team, and during the fall. Michael, reason why I bring this up is Jim Harbaugh, the coach, showed 8 Mile to the team the night before.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
Does that movie stand up for you, Michael?
You know, I think it's a great film. I mean, Curtis Hanson was an amazing filmmaker. You know, he's passed away, unfortunately. I did 2 films with him, 8 Mile and Lucky You. You know, he made L.A. Confidential, which is a modern classic, I think. I mean, he really dove into that atmosphere and that environment, and really captured it in a very striking way, I think. And you know, Marshall was so devoted to making the movie and wanting to do the best job he could, and very respectful and considerate. At least when I was around, I couldn't believe what a nice guy he was, and so I'm very proud to have done that movie and been a part of it. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Wolves, Michael. That comes out tomorrow. Basketball-related film about a kid who is trying to get to where he wants to go, but family gets in the way in a way. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and this kid that plays the kid, Taylor, he's really something. I was really impressed with him, and it's a good opportunity to see a new up-and-coming performer that I think it's really going places. Yeah.
Taylor John Smith, Carla Gugino, and John Douglas Thompson, and you. Thanks for calling,
right.
Michael. I'd love to have you back in here again next time you're in Los Angeles.
I'll make a point of it. Thanks,
Beautiful.
Rich.
You got it. You got it. That's Michael Shannon.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.